Welcome to Behind the Claw. We will be picking up where we left off last week. We are going to be starting from here on this episode, moving forward maybe 2 episodes. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes for these guys to get through it. But this will be our Halloween event. A little bit of the spooky horror to inject into our game. Um, Not like ghosts and goblins, but you know, the more real kind of horror, corporate horror. So where these guys are at, they just left. Where did you guys just leave? Go Hatcher. You did your cattle drive. Go Hatcher being a owned, it is a vassal world of Iderati, and so Iderati is the next stop, being a Class A starport and a rather, I wouldn't necessarily say busy or important, but it is a large imperial world. Iderati has a population of around 20 million people, and Class A starport, and it also has, fun of funs, it has an imperial naval base there, and so this is the next stop for the Skander, and of course,
So we're going to be searched for a week.
Well, so
or does the past or the previous one count?
That could be made. That could be an argument that could be made. So Go Hatcher, being a imperial vassal world of Iderati, you already went through a week-long enhanced investigation and security check and all of that. And so that could very well be argued, but you are a Sword World ship in the Third Imperium borders, and so these kinds of things are to be expected. And as you guys are going into jump, of course, Magnus tells you that a week from now, when we get to Iderati, everything that we do is going to be on show, and so which is his nomenclature for make sure that everything is tip top. It's going to be cleaned, and so that's where we'll be picking up with you guys having made your jump. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. And so, you guys,
and during the week, I'm talking to the engineer about where can I install this still.
Yes, that's a very good question. So
I assume he has a place in the engineering area where he can hide it and connect it.
Magnus, keep everything on the up and tidy. Smart in the engineering. Build my still.
So as you are, and that's just huge. Scale that down a bit so I can get around the screen faster. There we go. And 14. Oh, 14 is there too. So, yeah. So before you even are getting down there, the conversation, of course, comes up. Magnus has a plan. He knows that you guys have already been training some skills and looking to better yourselves, and so he wants to have you shadow some other members of the crew that may have more appropriate skills available. And so the way this will work out, and in this case, since Vart's already wanting to go down to engineering to install his still, the chief engineer, and I always forget her name.
Scumbag. Miss Scumbag.
No, she's actually kind of cool, but she can be a little bitchy. Come on, PDF. Acrobat. Don't fail. Her name is Anna Makinen. Um, she is about 55 years old. She is the chief engineer, and Magnus decides that he's going to have Svart shadow her, and so she's going to teach Svart. Svart, what engineering skills do you have? Do you have any?
I don't think I have any, but let me check. Let's see. I maybe should have bought this up earlier.
Oh, don't feel bad about not having a character sheet up. I do that shit all the time.
Vart. It says nada.
Okay, so essentially, and this is going to be a, I guess the fast track training, boots on the ground, hands in the grease kind of learning curve, and so out of this you are going to learn Engineering 0, and you will learn Astrogation 0, and
That's nice.
that will come up. How many weeks are you from your next skill check?
6.
You're 6 weeks. So when you make that roll for that, and go ahead and you can write down Engineering 0 and Astrogation 0, you will also get those automatically in that
Cool.
6 weeks.
And astrogation.
Or not, I'm sorry, not Astrogation. Engineering 0 and Mechanic 0. Sorry, I was thinking about the other.
I already have mechanic 0.
You already have Mechanic 0? Okay, then you can, yeah, keep it at Astrogation. That's fine. What engineering skills does Jersey have? Any?
You think me, a diplomat, has engineering skills?
Well, if you don't, then the two that
I have electronics.
electronics is a good one.
I have electronics, computers, 1.
So you're pretty golden for that. You will learn Engineering 0, focusing mostly on jump drive routines, and you will also learn piloting 0. And so you're going to be kind of shadowing the main pilots on the bridge.
So is it engineering jump drive and engineering pilot?
No, it'll be Engineering 0, focusing on jump drives, but you're not going to get a specialization. It's just going to be Engineering 0, meaning that you get all of the engineering skills at 0. M drive, J drive, power, all of them will be at 0. The other one will be piloting 0. So you'll get all of those. Piloting spacecraft, small craft, and capital ships will all be at 0. And how many weeks do you have before your next skill check?
Well, I'm on now week 9 of, was it 12? 12 or 16 is what I got to get to.
Yeah, it's going to be 16. So yeah, it's 8 weeks for 1, and then 16 weeks for 2. So
yeah, then I passed it, and you said it did something, but it didn't change anything. I don't think.
So if you're going from 1 to 2, you have to do 2 study periods. Each are 8 weeks, and so after the first study period of 8 weeks, you make a check, kind of your midterms kind of thing, and then you make your next check at the end of the next 8 weeks. So at the end of the next 8 weeks, you will automatically get piloting 0, and you will get engineering 0.
Oh, okay, so I need to add all those to my study period.
Yeah, you could just write down a note that you'll automatically get those. And the reason that you're automatically getting these is because you are having a hands-on teacher. And so, and Magnus Magnus believes that this will. I mean, this isn't just about. This cruise isn't just about profits. I mean, of course, the mercantile profits are number one with a bullet point at the top of the list. That's the entire reason for this cruise. But Magnus also is quite magnanimous as far as his crew is concerned, and he fully realizes that because of certain circumstances when this cruise began, especially considering that Skander kind of had a black mark, and so a lot of crew members that had initially signed on didn't even show up for the first day. They decided to bail and go sign up with another crew, even if it damaged their reputation. And the reason for that being is that Skander, because before Magnus purchased the Skander, it had a rather rough trip, ran into some problems. It was beat up, and Magnus basically bought it on the cheap. Because if it wasn't for Magnus, Skander would have been sent to Shipbreaker. And so instead he bought it, he took it to the shipyards, he had it overhauled, and so now it's all brand new and shiny. And but because of that bad trip, sword worlders being what they are, they're very superstitious. They're like, no, we're not getting onto that death trap. And so he understands that a lot of the crew that he did end up with, several of your crewmates, this is their first time in space. I mean, you're probably, in reality, you're probably looking at roughly, I would say probably at least 75%. It's probably closer to 90% of the normal citizens that you meet in Traveler, in charted space, anywhere, have never been off-world. They spend their entire life on this one planet, and never leave. And that upper echelon percentage, they might take a cruise or move or something like that. But for the most part, your average person on the street, this is the planet they live on, and that's where they're staying. It's so weird because along those lines, we were talking. This was a while back. My Friday night group. One of the guys was saying, "Oh, well, that's the way old school Traveler was. There wasn't a whole bunch of planet hopping, and that most campaigns took place on just the entire campaign was on one planet." And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what Traveler games you were playing, because that was not how we played. We were all over the universe. I mean, if we didn't have a scout ship by like the third game session, then there was something weird going on. Yeah, I never once did we play like that. We're like, space? Cool. Let's go to space. So, yeah, most people have never left. And so, in fact, Zerzi, your character himself, this is only maybe his third time.
Yeah, I think during his upbringing, I think he only switched planets like two times, I think 2 or 3.
Right.
He was mostly just doing Zoom calls all day.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you were pretty settled. And were you in the Consulate Marines, or were you in the Army or Navy?
I was in. Yeah, look at my thing. I don't remember. I believe I was in I was in the cavalry.
Okay, so you were probably like armored jump.
Yeah, I was like a armored officer for like a very short time.
That's going to be planetary based. So yeah, you didn't have a whole lot of being a diplomat. You didn't move around a whole lot, and this is probably your maybe third or fourth time ever being on a ship, and this is probably the longest stint you've ever been on board a ship, going from planet to planet to planet to planet as you are jumping along the trade route. So his idea is, and he has this, he kind of has developed this plan overall, because he sees that, he's got a lot of green recruits, and when the merchant cruise is done, he wants to leave his crew better than when he found them. And so he wants to leave you guys with some skills that you can take and use elsewhere, or getting another job on another ship or what have you, this will help you get your foot in the door for that. And so, that's what he's got going for you. So you can add, of course, you can add another week to your study period. And of course, during this week, you are. I'm sorry.
Nope, that was me accidentally hitting my voice
Oh.
mod thing. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
if I use my numpad, it plays a bunch of stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah, my Logitech app used to do that shit on my on the mic on my
Hold on,
camera.
I may have to rejoin the call, but let me turn it off real quick.
Okay.
Be back in a minute.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, never mind. My mic is still working. We're good.
Yep, I can hear you.
But no, it's because the game I play, the video game I play, I'm an admin on it, so I have a whole bunch of hotkeys and stuff all over my numpad
Right.
to do stuff.
Right.
And I was typing a 0 to start playing Russian
Yeah,
hard face.
I've never bothered with that stuff, and so way back when I was just using the built-in mic on the camera, you'd reach over and you'd bump a button or whatever, and then you've got like robot voice, and then it was always this, situation of, okay, well, how do I undo that? And then you'd have to go through for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to undo a button bump. Mostly because you didn't know which button you bumped, right? So
Yep.
There's no way for you to backtrack what you're doing.
Reminds me of in computer class, one of my friends had Googled how to rotate your display.
Right.
Like there was some Windows in like Windows, I don't know, maybe 7 or maybe XP it was.
Right.
It was like you could press Windows key something and something, and it would literally rotate your display.
Yep.
So he'd go to a computer lab and do that to every single computer. And then of course no student knows how to undo it, so everyone's just like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, there for a while when I was running multiple monitors. I hated running multiple monitors. And so now
I love it.
Now I just have a 34-inch curved screen, and I'm like, I don't need multiple monitors. I have real estate for everything I need to do. But when I was doing that, I experimented with multiple configurations, and I had a couple that were turned sideways, and yeah, it was nuts.
Well, the display on your monitor would rotate.
Oh, you broke up.
Like your entire.
You're breaking up really bad. Internet choked.
Okay.
Does the internet go out?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is my internet going out? What's going on here?
I can hear it.
Roger, we'll call.
All right.
There we go. That was weird.
It was you.
It maybe I don't know. I mean, I didn't get any notification that there was anything wrong. That was very bizarre. So anyways, so during this week you guys are spending your time shadowing your mentors and learning about shipboard stuff.
I love stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they are. Magnus wants to leave you guys better than he found you, and you will be getting some skills that will be usable after the merchant cruise is done. Did we lose Jersey?
No, I'm here.
Okay, your camera's wigging out on me, so I couldn't tell.
Oh.
Maybe it is me. Give me just a second. This is acting really weird. I will be right back. All right, we are back after a brief restart of the computer to try and fix strange internet problems. Seems we are all back online. Okay. So, as I was saying, you guys are spending the week pretty much doing nothing else other than studying and shadowing these other two. So there's not really. You've been, of course, because of this training, those that are going through it are alleviated from their normal duties or put on like half shift duties of everything else that you would normally do, security watch or what have you. For the most part, being in jump means that you're going to be not doing a whole lot. It is a whole lot of boring tedium, and most of it is just routine. That is it is simply there to make sure that the crew remains sharp and continuing to do whatever it is that they are meant to do when not in jump. And so, most of this time now is for you is spent studying some of the more important things. A lot of the stuff that you a lot of stuff that you would read out of the Starship Operator's manual would be what you're doing during this week is basically reading manuals. I'm sure Svart is, if you're studying engineering and astrogation, you're studying a lot of mathematics and learning the formulas behind what the computer does when it's doing an astrogation model for plotting out your next jump. And so there's a lot of math that you'll be doing there. Same goes for Xerxes. You're learning. You're basically during this week you're going to be doing learning about the jump calculations that are fed into the jump drive from the bridge, getting those many of those calculations from whoever's doing the astrogation. And so you're kind of learning the layout of that entire situation. You're probably also doing some simulation work, minor piloting simulation, and of course you're told by the head pilot that you will be learning more hands-on stuff as soon as you're out of jump, because a lot of that will take place then. And so that's what you guys are spending your week doing, with the few off hours that you have. I mean, if you're expecting to get 6 to 8 hours of rest, you can probably, on top of that, plan maybe an additional 2 hours for food and recreation. Aside from that, is there anything else that you guys are doing with that whole terrible 2 hours a day of eating and recreation?
I'm finishing off my brown ale.
Okay. Yes, you've got that ale.
Brown ale. It's either that or mead, one or the other. Nothing else counts.
I'll check on my my farm hands and see how they're adapting to crew ship life.
So the farm hands from Gohatcher are kind of some of the reason for this. They are even greener than most of the other crew, but not by much. So out of the crew, of those that have any kind of spacer ability, you might have a couple that have some mechanic skills. You might have some that have some engineering skills, but not. They're nowhere near what would normally be crewed on a ship like this, and honestly, nowhere near what Magnus would normally demand. But it was kind of a last ditch effort to make this happen, and so these guys that you hired on as essentially muscle. One of them does have some engineering and mechanic ability. The other two, one of them's pretty skilled with firearms, slugs. The other one is, well, he's strong. That's about the best thing. He's built like somebody who has worked on the farm all his life, and so he's basically they've got him down in the cargo hold, and Magnus has plans that he's going to go ahead and give these guys some training too. And
Well, I mean,
even though he's not paying them, he still has this this mentality that he wants to leave his crew at the end of this cruise better than when he found them.
right, makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, you meet you kind of check in on these guys throughout the week, and they're they're fitting in. They are doing their best to learn. Let's see. Yeah, they're slowly picking up, how to do things, and the crew. Believe it or not, the rest of the crew who's been doing this for um, past several weeks, they're going easy on them, as opposed to how sword worlders usually do things, throwing people into the deep water and just yelling at them to swim. And so, instead, this time around, they seem to be, going light on them. That's what that is.
They even showed them that maybe they might want to use their arms and their feet when they're trying to swim.
Yes, yes, yes. And so, your week goes by, and it's just studying. It's uneventful. And you come out in Iderati. As soon as I find Iderati. There it is. Figure out where I was at. So this is the Iderati system. Iderati itself has a Class A starport. It is tech level 12, so it is one of the higher tech worlds. Probably, well, Xerxes probably been to high tech worlds in the consulate, I would imagine. So 12's probably not that fantastic, but it's the first 12 that you guys have seen on this entire cruise, and there is a lot of there's a lot of traffic in the system. Specifically, somebody can make a electronics sensors plus intellect or education check.
I mean, I have electronics computers.
So that gives you electronic sensors at 0. It's trained. You're competent in it. And it would be electronics plus your choice, either intellect or education.
So electronics, like that.
There
I
you go.
think so.
Yeah, that's a good roll. Um, wow, there are 5 other ships in system. Of those, 3 are leaving the system. 2 are also making way for Iderati. One of them you recognize. It is a where did it go? There it is. It is a subsidized liner, basically your standard small cruise liner, named Glisten Advantage. You've seen this ship before. The other, and you recognize another ship. It's a subsidized merchant called the Bowman Calypso. The Glisten Advantage. Let me probably have it in here. It is subby. Really? There it is. This is what Glisten Advantage looks like. So these things have jump 3. Subsidized Type M subsidized liners are frequently seen making passage between worlds. Um, some are nicer than others, obviously, but at 600 tons, it can carry quite a few passengers. I mean, it's got 4 high staterooms and 30 standard, so they can really pack them in there. And like I said, you saw this ship earlier in your cruise, so and the Glisten Advantage is actually making their way out of system.
Jump 3. Oh, wow.
That's just so weird.
I could use one of those.
The subsidized merchant. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not bad ships. They have nothing for armor, so you know. But we did take one in. Well, you had one in the fleet in Pirates of Drenax, and it made a pretty good glass cannon. I mean, at 600 tons, you can really outfit it with some guns, but with no armor.
Well, where we're going, we don't need armor.
You hope. You hope.
If you need armor going to an Imperial world, then you're in trouble.
Maybe.
It's the Imperials who are after you.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm of the mind that I like to have defenses no matter where I'm going. There we go. I can't type today. The other ship that you recognize you've seen before is the Bowman Calypso. It looks like that. It's only a J1. What you do remember about the Bowman Calypso is that the notes that you got on it from a previous world is that from the starport mechanics and engineers is that it is a very well maintained ship. Usually these things they run the gambit of they can either look like a garbage scow or they can be immaculate. This one was very well maintained and is an obvious. It's got writing, basically all over it. It's a commercial freight hauler. It's sponsored by a number of small corporations. The other 3 ships that you see in system is the Pox Rocks, which is a Seeker class miner. They are making their way out of system. There is the Imperial Naval Patrol Corvette Iderati. That is.
Oh, let's nuke it.
Yes, because that's what we always do to Imperial Corvettes is launch nukes at them. The Iderati is kind of tooling around the system itself, being a general menace. And the third ship is a free trader, also a jump 1, free trader Grand Empire of Stars. And it according to the IFF ping, because you get some information about the vessel, is that it makes its way bopping around the different systems of the Bowman arm, which is pretty much where you are at. I can give you a better map here. So you're at Iderati, right there, and this is pretty much this whole thing here.
Oh, you could get a lot of places here at the B1, J1.
Yes, yes, you can.
It just takes forever.
Right. But yeah, this is all pretty much known as the Bowman Arm, and so a lot of these ships, they only need J1 because they can go pretty much from, man, they can go all the way from up here at Uniqua, all the way over. Wow, I think you can even with a J1 you could go all the way from Uniqua all the way back into the Sword World, and you would never need to worry about jumping arms. You could do that with a J1 ship. So they're popular in this region. A lot of tramp freighters. For small ship captains, there can be a lot of money to be made. Now maybe not a lot, but you won't go hungry. You won't starve unless you spend your money in a terrible, terrible way. Iderati itself, though, like I said, it's tech level 12. It I'll tell you about it. 887. So it is roughly 12,800 kilometers, so it is in diameter, so it is roughly about the same as Earth. It's got 1.0 surface gravity. It has a dense atmosphere. The pressure is anywhere from 1.5 to 2.49, so your ears might plug up a bit, even at sea level, but you're not required, no filters required, no vac suit, no special gear. It's a t-shirt environment. And it is 66 to 75% water, so it is an Earth-like world. And then it says 798, population of about 20 million. Government is an impersonal bureaucracy. Ruling functions are performed by agencies that have become insulated from the governed citizens. Essentially, this means that there are entrenched castes of bureaucrats, and it's usually related to a decaying empire. It's owned by the Imperials, like part and parcel. It's not like a lot of other worlds. This one is pretty much entrenched with Imperial nobility, and they have a naval base here and the whole 9 yards to prove it. And going along with that, they have a law level of 8. All bladed weapons, including and stunners even, are banned, and all visible armor is banned. So yeah. So all bladed weapons and stunners, and then at 9 it says all weapons. Well, I mean, what else is there? I mean, 7 is shotguns, and below that, all firearms except shotguns and stunners. I mean, I don't know really what would be left. Maybe antique weapons, I guess, like muzzle loaders. I don't know, but it says all bladed weapons, stunners, and all visible armor is banned. You could expect something like that. Things, of course, psionics are banned.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, exactly. Probably have a very strict drug policy.
I don't think somebody's going to be wearing his turban.
Yeah, maybe. And so
I have to wear my turban. It's my character.
You
yes,
go to jail.
I'm a nobody without
Not
my
in an
turban.
imperial world.
And so the ground control from the downport gives Skander clearance, and the pilot turns to Zerzy and he says, "Why don't you take her in?" And so Zerzy And I know you're not trained in it yet, but you're going to get a +2 to this because he is assisting. The pilot is assisting. You can go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
So because I'm not trained, do I have the skill wrote down or no?
No, you're at -3, but I'm giving you a +2 because he is assisting. So you're only at -1.
What's his dex?
Horrible.
-4.
So not trained, so Dex, not trained. It says only -3. Okay. So roll type normal, modifier +2, you said.
Correct.
Oh my! It's raining again.
I got a 6.
Perfect.
We had a day. We had a day of nothing but thunderstorms come through. Some places got more than an annual rainfall.
That's unusual in Arizona. So yeah.
Yeah. In one day, they got almost 3 inches of rain in one day.
See, in Arizona, 3 inches of rain can be kind of scary because that's like flash flood shit. Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, the creek, the river here in my neighborhood normally is 3 feet across, 2 inches high. It was 40 feet across, 6 feet high.
Oh shit. So Zerzy, so usually docking is a routine check, which is a 6+. You nailed it at 6, and you set the ship into the docking berth perfectly, right where you were supposed to. It was textbook, and the pilot is quite impressed. Go ahead and roll 2D for me. Just a raw 2D.
An 8.
Okay, okay. And
I rolled 2 4s.
roll it again.
A 4.
Okay, so yeah, the pilot is very impressed. He kind of looks over his shoulder and kind of calls out and says, you know, that you are picking things up quickly.
It was only beginner's luck.
Literally.
Straight up and tell him.
Literally. And so, so as you guys you sat down, and Magnus, of course, reminds everybody that everything we do here is on show because this is an Imperial world, and not just an Imperial world. They have an Imperial naval base here, and so he is adamant about everything being shipshape and looking good. He tells you that he has a so way back on Baleria, he picked up some tea that it's a yellow leaf tea that is supposed to have some medicinal properties. He's going to try to sell some of that here, and he has plans because this is a tech level 12 world. He wants to purchase some technological goods to sell further down the line in the trip. But as you guys are getting ready to disembark, he basically tells you that there isn't a whole lot for you guys to really need to do, but because this is an Imperial world with a naval base, he does suspect that there's going to be a lot that you can learn as far as intelligence gathering, and he wants you to try and do your best to find out as much while we're here. And he's only initially he's as you guys are walking to the cargo bay, he is basically telling you he's only planning to maybe be here 48 hours, maybe 72 tops, and then he wants to move on. He doesn't expect these purchases and sales to take too long. However, as you are just getting to the cargo bay and the lift doors open, you see that there is a Imperial officer with a cadre of Imperial Marines behind him, and they march into the cargo bay, and the Imperial officer pulls out some neatly folded papers and hands them, doesn't hand them, he slaps them into Magnus's chest, and he tells him that This Sword World ship is now going to be under an enhanced investigation. We're going to be going over your shipworthiness, and we will be searching the entire vessel for contraband. And Magnus, of course, says, "Why? What are you talking about? What contraband?" And he says, "There has been a suspicion, according to your flight logs, there is a suspicion that this vessel may be carrying contraband weaponry."
Is this a bad time to say, like, I made sure to make myself dressed all fancy in my
No, that's
fancy
good.
outfit?
No, that's good. You can be all fancy. Did you guys want to interject?
I'm not looking like a Donnie, but like I'm doing my usual wear nice suit with lots of knickknacks and everything else on it that
Sure.
shows he's a rich crew member.
Yeah.
Or more well respected. I'm just gonna look at Svart and whisper to him, be like, I wonder if it's that planet with all the nuclear stuff.
Ding, ding, ding.
And Mark goes, I don't know. I didn't buy any nuclear grenades.
I wish they had nuclear grenades. I would have bought some, but we didn't get any. There was none.
Nuclear grenades.
I like Fallout. I can't help it.
Yeah, right.
Grenades are fun.
Did you hear
They're
that?
my best friend.
Did you see? It just came out a little while ago that Walton Goggins is going to be doing the voiceover for the Ghoul for Fallout 76 in the new expansion.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Might actually. Whenever they do an expansion, I always end up playing that game for a little bit, and then go back to whatever I was doing before. But yeah. So
I guess I would probably just ask, like, are we able to leave the ship while you inspect it?
yeah, your crew is not detained, but the Imperial officer does state that all weaponry and armor will need to be stowed aboard the ship too. He's not him and his Marines aren't taking any chances. So all weaponry and armor will need to be stowed in the armory.
Does my social outfit count as armor? It has one protection. It's that one.
Yeah, it's that Jodani stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, just looking at it, I wouldn't.
I mean, there's
I mean, it's pretty fancy. I mean,
yeah.
You're either a noble or you're getting ready to go to an orgy if you're wearing that. So, I mean, and this is their business social outfit. I would say no.
Okay.
And if you have something like a cloth jacket or a cloth overcoat, I wouldn't say that would count. Law level for this would be all visible armor.
Okay.
Yeah, all visible armor, and visible being the operative word. So if it is, unless it looks like you're wearing armor, you're okay.
I have a cloth jacket, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
I guess, yeah, I would I'd walk back to my room and go grab my laser gun and my body pistol and go throw them in the armory.
So he wants everybody, all weapons and armor that of anybody, especially like security members, whatnot, stowed in the armory. If you are leaving, so the overall classification. So Iderati itself is a law level. What did we say it was? 8. It's up there. Yeah, law level 8 world. But Imperial starports, being what they are, is kind of they are their own embassy. And so usually in Imperial starports, it is perfectly legal to walk around open carry with a weapon on your hip, and that's fine. And some armor is okay if that's what you want to wear. I mean, they don't, and of course, they don't encourage you to be showing off that you're wearing armor or walking around with hand cannons and long arms, but it's legal in the starport.
Okay.
It's leaving the starport that things kind of run into issues. Usually, that law extends into a little bit the Star Town, but then as soon as you get into the fade down, where the Star Town starts blending in with the local populace, that's where the laws really start to kick.
Okay, I guess never mind then. But I would be curious to. I personally don't remember the person's name, but my character would. The Imperial noble that we saved on that one planet.
Yes.
I would just casually name drop and be like, "Do you know of this noble that was a lieutenant?" And I don't remember her full name,
Her name was.
Not very smart.
That too.
but knowing an Imperial noble can help us.
Lieutenant Lady Estrella was her name. So you're gonna casually name drop her, and
I'll just be like, do you happen to know of this noble from the Empire? I would say her name, Lady Estrella. We actually helped save her from an attempted coup attempt on a planet not that long
on
ago.
Bellaria, yeah. So that's a good question. Nope. He's never heard of her, and he kind of, these guys are kind of snotty and rude. And he says something along the lines of, "I can't be expected to know every nobleman's whelp that joins the Imperial Navy."
I hate this because
Sure you
technically
can.
speaking, if I told him I was a noble, he's supposed to show me noble courtesy. That's what it says in the Jordani book.
You're not in the Jordani consulate. In
Right.
fact, much of your social would go towards your diplomatic status as a diplomat in the Jordani consulate. Most of that's not going to fly here.
Yeah, I would just be like, okay, well.
Is there a Johnny consulate here? I doubt it, but
no, the Jordani consulate does not have a embassy here.
Well, as far let's go buy some fancy tech shit.
Let's go to the bar and ask what's going on. We need to get intel.
Okay.
I need some brown ale or mead anyway.
Okay. So, I mean, seeing
an IPA would be acceptable.
the third Imperial Pale Ale. Guys, you're gonna get this. Cats are being assholes on my desk. And so, so yeah, you guys make your way over to the local Brewhouse Tavern, which is right there. And having seen this before, so you saw this at Go Hatcher, this enhanced kind of going over of the ship, knowing that. I mean that took nearly a week, and this looks even worse and more belligerent than that did. So these Imperials are going to be going over your ship with a fine-tooth comb. So you walk into the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So that's fine. I have shit to buy.
You're gonna buy.
Walking into the Brewhouse Tavern, you can see your docking berth from the front windows of the Brewhouse Tavern, and you kind of come walking in, and the bartender sees where he can see you walking up, through the windows, and as you walk in, he says, "So I saw the Marines heading over towards your vessel. I imagine you boys are having a rough day. What can I get you?"
It's not a rough day. It just means we get an extended vacation.
He says, "Well, that's good that you always look on the upside."
Part of my culture, can't help it.
So they have Brewhouse Tavern. They have a plethora of beers on tap. Red beers, dark beers, pale ales, you name it.
They have a stout or a malt.
They do. They have a stout.
They have a chocolate malt.
I would
The
imagine
best one I ever had was in a local microbrewery in Columbus, Ohio, not far from the state campus of Ohio State University. You could put a spoon in it and it would stand up.
they probably do. On Iderati, I would say they probably do. Both of you can make a recon plus intellect check.
Oh, damn. Do I have recon? I have it as 0, and I have intellect of 1.
13.
Nice. For a diplomat, you have keen eye. And
6.
Svart got it with a 6. So you guys are sitting here, or kind of at the bar, and the bartender brings you your beers. And out of the corner of your eye, sitting in one of the booths, you see a blap. Now, blaps are pretty common. They look generally like this. In fact, you can even be a blap as a traveler. But these are blaps.
A weird looking Argonian. Got it.
Yeah, they're basically walking salamanders. They generally have to wear this hooded outfit that he's wearing. Generally, it is some kind of microfabric that maintains moisture for a long time, and they have to wear it basically wherever they go in order to keep their skin from drying out. And both of you notice that he has noticed you. Like, he has not taken his eyes off you, and he kind of looks like this. Actually, a much better rendition of a blap.
I mean, I will say I do like knowing that they have like boon dice on all admin stuff. It's like shit. Should have been one of them for a diplomat.
And so he kind of he's been kind of studying you since you walked in, and after the bartender gets you your beers and you take your first couple of sips, he gets up and he's not. I mean, he's a blap. So what I can tell you, what you guys would know, or at least Svart would probably know, that blaps throughout the Imperium are most commonly seen in executive type roles, accounting, things like that. They are sticklers for numbers and organization. And he kind of gets up and he comes sauntering over to you guys. He's maybe 5'2", if that. I would use metric, but I'm not going to convert it in my head. I don't want to. So you're going to have to deal with English. So he's probably about 5'2", and he comes over and
It's 1.7 meters.
1.7 meters sounds awfully tall.
Well, 2 meters is 6.5 feet.
Right.
Also, I'm not drinking. I'm just sitting there. I'm checking out the room. That's why I have
because he's not going shopping yet.
I'll go shopping at some point. Don't worry.
So this WAP comes up and he says, "Excuse me." He says, "I couldn't help but notice that there was a veritable army of Imperial troops heading towards your vessel." He says, "In fact, I believe I counted that there was 15 troops, 16 if you count the officer."
I mean, we do have a big vessel.
That's true, you do. That's a good point.
I'm just gonna.
No, go ahead.
I'm just gonna look at it and just be like, "May I help you with anything?" I'm not sure. What does Jordani have seen a blop?
Probably, yeah. I mean, at some point, I would think that you would have. They're pretty ubiquitous throughout charted space. So I would think that probably a Jodani you may not have actually ever met one in person, but you would recognize them. And he he says, well, uh, maybe, perhaps we can help each other.
And
And
how would that be, sir?
so he introduces himself as Dalgly Hosh, and he tells you, and he kind of he forgot in his rush to get up from the table to come over to you. He forgot that he had a napkin in his collar, and he goes, "Oh, excuse me, it's been a very stressful couple of days. I was just out here on my lunch break and happened to see you land." And he says he tells you that his name is Dalgly Hosh, and he is the representative for a company. Basically, I don't know that you would call him a CEO. He's not a CEO. He is the planetary representative for Lissani Chemicals. And he says you may have heard of Lissani. We have military contracts. We make a number of pharmaceutical drugs all across charted space, all across the Imperium. We sell in the Sword Worlds. Lissani's a pretty basic name. I mean, they're like the Pfizer of the Third Imperium. And he tells you, he says I've been looking to hire some people for how do we say it? Been looking to hire some people for a delicate matter that shouldn't take very much of your time. It's really nothing more than a chance to reconnoiter a situation for me and report back.
This sounds an awful lot like a spy mission.
Oh no, nothing like that. I would need you to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but beyond that, he says it's a very simple matter. You see, we have a laboratory ship in low orbit, and we've not had any contact from them for several days. I believe that it's probably just a malfunctioning transmitter antenna, but he says I would need somebody to go up and check it out, possibly repair it if you find that the antenna is bad or what have you. But he says it shouldn't take much of your time. In fact, I would supply you with an air raft in order to get up to low orbit, and even supply you with vac suits so that you can get there safely. He says I'm willing to pay if it's nothing more than an antenna and you just need to swap out the antenna array, I'd be willing to pay you each 1,500 credits and buy you the finest dinner that you can purchase on Iderati. He says, however, if there is more delicate matters that are required, I would be willing to pay 12,000 credits each. And I would also be willing to supply, and hold on here, I need to look at it. I would be willing to supply you each with a neural jack, plus the cost of surgery to have it installed.
I like to say interesting, as I also use psionics to read his surface thoughts.
Go ahead and make a.
Sounds to me like there's something gone wrong up there.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna do this. Yes, I got it.
I mean,
Yes, you did.
Unfortunately, it cost me 2 psi points.
that cost you 2 psi points.
Do I sense that he is lying to me?
He's not lying to you. He has no idea what's going on up there. He really does suspect that it's just a bad transmission antenna, but you below that, you do read some darkness and worry about the situation up there. Like, um, nothing that's really bubbling to the surface, but he is concerned about something.
Okay. I just look at it and be like, why not have the Imperial Marines go take a look?
He says, "Well, ultimately, this is a delicate matter, and we have a contract with the Third Imperium, and so if we can, how do you say, avoid situations, if they don't need to know, then they don't need to know, and if everything's okay, then they certainly don't need to."
Are you gonna go with us then? Is that what you're saying? I mean, if it's just a simple
He says, "Oh no,
transmitter.
I have to stay down here. I have none of the skills for this, which is why I'm trying to hire some people that do this kind of thing. You've been in space, you know how to do this."
I'm a guy who talks. I don't really look at these old hands. I'm in my 50s. Like, I don't use a wrench. I grease wheels. I make deals.
He says, "Well, your skills as a talker, maybe." He says, "Oh, you people call them a face. If you're a face on the situation, you could be useful up there as well. I don't know what the situation is, but time is of the essence. I need to find out what's going on with the lab ship." He says, the ship's name is the what is the ship's name? The ship's name is the Calendula. It's a Calypso class laboratory ship.
If we'd be allowed to take the shuttle off of off of our ship and go up there.
You could.
Are there robots, androids, or living things supposedly on this ship?
Well, I would imagine there would be a lot of lab animals. It's a laboratory ship.
Right, but I mean, I meant like, is there scientists on this ship?
Oh yes,
Or
there is supposed to be a crew of 28 on the Calendula.
okay,
Of that, um, of that, I mean, the crew of the Calendula, it only requires a pilot, astrogator, engineers, 2 engineers, and a medic. But being what it is, there is a total of 28 people up there. The rest are all scientists, and they're conducting various.
Oh, I'm sure there's a steward and a
Maybe
cook.
maybe not. I mean, they're
As
scientists.
an auto chef, right?
Probably an auto chef, yes.
An auto chef, an auto bar.
God, I'd hope there'd
They're
be an
all
auto bar.
my
Drunk scientists are the
oldness,
best scientists.
my oldness and my horrible combat skills tells me don't go, but my love of horror tells me to go. So, but in game, I would just look at it and be
whatever we
like,
do, we can't split up.
That's the
Either
fastest way to
both
get
go
through
or
the
we
dungeon.
don't
Split
go.
the party.
No, we don't
just-
split parties here.
in game, I would ask him, is there any access codes or anything like that we need? Any ID cards, anything?
So he tells you that that unlike the Calypso class of lab ship is a little bit different. Let me pull it up for my own edification here. Lab ship. Lab ships are kind of weird. So it is a little bit different from the standard Type L lab ship. The Calypso has 2 air rafts in addition to the pinnace that would normally be docked in the center, and he pulls out a portable computer, a tablet, and this is the stats on a lab ship.
Okay.
So this one has docking space for 2 air rafts, and it has a 40-ton pinnace. And every one of these lab ships always has a pinnace that docks in the central spoke. And it also has the central spoke, actually. So lab ships, not only do they have grav plates in them so that you can, of course, stop from floating, it also has the ability for experiments. They can turn off the grav plates, and this ring will spin for centrifugal gravity, simulated gravity, because the grav plates can sometimes interfere with any experiments that are going on. This central spoke, however, can actually be locked in place, which makes it easier for pilots to dock. Now, if there is a pinnace that is already docked there, you can't get in that way. So that would be one downside to wanting to take the shuttle. He's willing to give you guys an air raft, and on the air raft is a remote that will open an air raft docking bay for you so that you can dock with the ship.
Bart, I'm gonna totally crash us into it. We're all gonna die.
Well, the air raft only requires flyer grav, so I don't know if you guys have flyer grav, but I mean,
I have flower graph.
there you
Oh.
go.
You're piloting then. Congratulations.
It may only be 0, but I have it.
I really want to go buy a high-powered computer because I think it would really help us. But if we have to go quickly, I will go quickly.
So you could go and pick up a computer before going. Let me pull up electronics.
Will I bring my investigator's kit from my days as the police?
That might not be a bad idea. You never know.
So if I buy like a tech level 12 computer,
Yep,
it says computer /3.
Correct.
What is that? What is that? So that means like if I use it,
so the /3 is the amount of bandwidth that the computer has. So generally, you would look at whatever software you want to run. So let's say that you wanted to run decryptor software.
And hacker software.
Well, let's start with decryptor. So let's say that you were trying to decrypt a message or something that you had found, and you were using decryptor 3. So the golden rule with and I'm fairly sure this is still how it works, is that bandwidth if your computer is bandwidth 3, that means you can run up to 1 less than your bandwidth. So you could run decryptor 2.
Okay. So like if I wanted to buy the security software, I could only buy bandwidth 2. I couldn't get the bandwidth 3 one.
I mean, you could buy the higher bandwidth, but it would be a waste.
Okay.
Unless you possibly plan to upgrade the computer sometime later. But anything that you would be able to run, it would be run at 1 minus, or at the bandwidth -1 of whatever the computer is capable.
Okay, I'm probably about to spend like 10 grand on a super decked out computer that's portable because I need lots of skills and this thing will do skills for me.
That's true. So what he's offering you with a neural jack, probably should tell you a little bit about that. I think Zvart already knows all about neural jacks because we've had this conversation before. But so a neural jack. How did I go to?
It's in your skull.
Yes, it basically gives you a USB port in your skull. So
you could do things. You could buy things to do.
So this a neural jack includes a wafer jack, the neural link, which includes a neural comm, and it connects the whole thing to your nervous system. And you can then buy wafers that have expert programs on them for skills. Now, the big benefit with a neural jack over a regular wafer jack is that a neural jack allows you to use skills that are both physical or intellectual or educational. So a wafer jack usually is only going to be good to run expert programs that are going to allow you to have knowledge on things. Basically, you're a walking encyclopedia with whatever expert program you plugged in. With a neural jack, you could slot in gun combat slug 3, and you suddenly have the gun combat slug skill at 3 because it's jacked right into your nervous system. So it those expert wafers have muscle memory in the whole 9 yards, and it takes over for you.
I would like to spend 36,600 credits on building the best computer I can. That's portable.
Okay, I mean, yeah, uh, you can certainly do that. I mean, computers and
Watch
software.
first mission. It's gonna be like your computer breaks.
No, your computer's got a virus. Computers and software is on page 66 of the central
Yep,
supply catalog. So, yeah,
that's how I
can
was grinding all the numbers out.
yeah, you can purchase all of that. Well, maybe not all of it. Let me see. Let me look at software.
So I grabbed the tech level 12 computer with the intelligence surface, security 2, intrusion 2, expert
So
2,
so
translator
intrusion
1.
software, you're gonna need some. You're gonna need to make a streetwise
Oh,
plus intellect check.
well, I don't have Streetwise.
Neither do
There's
I.
do I just do an intellect check?
You can do a streetwise plus intellect check at -3.
Oh, so it'd just be intellect -3 then, because I don't have Streetwise.
Right.
I'm not a horrible person. I got a 5.
So yeah, no intrusion software. What was
Alright,
next on
so
your list?
Uh, expert 2,
That you can buy.
translator 1,
That you can buy.
database at 10,000.
Yep, you can buy that.
Agent 1
Yes.
and intellect 1.
Yes. So
Okay,
the other
so it
thing
only
to,
cost me 26,000.
the other thing to keep in mind is that this computer you bought has 3 bandwidth. So theoretically speaking, you could run 3 1 bandwidth programs at a time. Or
Yeah, I wanted to be able to have options. So I
Right.
could
Right, I'm just saying you can't run all of them at the same time.
Okay. I'm assuming if I want to use it, I'll just tell you I'm running this program and this program or what have
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm going to be honest. It's not something that's ever come up. Like, oh, how many programs are you running? No, that's never come up. It's always been like, oh, well, I'm going to use intrusion software to hack this console, and oh, cool, whatever. And so, yeah, you can spend that money and you can get those programs. Except for the only one that you can't get is the intrusion software.
Okay. That's okay. I'll save 10 grand. It'll be fine. So Smart just watches me go to a computer shop and just be like, give me everything.
Right? Yes. Yes. I will pull out the Jodani Platinum Black card, and it has no limit.
Let's see.
Is there anything that Fart wanted to purchase?
I am
So
thinking.
you bought the computer.
Where do I find the list of wafers? Because I'm going to ask this guy if we're going to do this. I'm going to ask this guy for some wafers.
So you would be looking at. I mean, it's expert skill packages is on page 70. But the reality is that it's you can so with a neural jack. Back to that page. What? So neural com. So Neural jack is 13. Neural link is 13. It would have audio visual computer 0 because it would be tech level 12 for the neural com. So at TL12, links to the visual cortex allows a full overlay of augmented reality information and other visual data, including input from HUD devices, without the need for a display unit. So it would have computer 0, meaning that you could slot basically any skill at 0. And then looking at these expert skill packages, so for physical skill packages, you're probably looking at 600 credits each.
Well,
If you're looking for, gun combat or gunner turret or anything that's physical. But on page 70 are the standard expert skill packages.
Oh no, I'm
off
down to
the top of my
60,000
head,
credits.
I'm gonna want survival steward.
Oh, you want? Yeah, well, you should have survival at 0 already. But steward may not be a bad one to have.
What page is this on?
Page 70 of the Central Supply Catalog.
No, I don't have survival at 0.
You should have got.
Did you give us that?
Yeah, I gave you as a free one from the Gilligan's Island episode. You guys got stuck on that planet.
Yeah, I've been having trouble with things missing.
Yeah. Roll20 does that to me every once in a while. Like there'll be something I knew that I uploaded to the handouts, and then it's just gone. So I don't doubt it. And I'm surprised nobody bought a digital friend. You don't want a Tamagotchi?
No. Am I able to add on like the decryptor software if it's in the supply catalog?
Yeah, you can buy the decryptor software.
I'm not buying digital friend.
Decryptor isn't. I wouldn't say decryptor would be regulated. I would think maybe higher tech levels would be regulated, but I would say that you could probably get a tech level 12 decryptor. I would think that would be pretty much standard planetary network practices that decryptor would be run at both ends. So now, if you want tech level 14 decryptor, that's different because that's regulated by the government.
Well, I assume that we can't get 14s on here because it's only a tech level 12 planet. Unless you went to like the naval base or something, and I was like, hey.
Well, like for instance, Lasani Chemicals or Lasani Pharmaceuticals would have access to higher tech level stuff. They are a Third Imperium mega corporation, so they probably have access to things all the way up to tech level 15.
Oh.
And you'll note that there are some items in the Central Supply Catalog that are tech level 16. Some of those items are available, but they're pretty much prototypes kind of shit. So I like a tech level 16 decryptor. I wouldn't put a whole lot of trust in what it decrypts, because there's going to be a percentage chance of failure for that.
Had to jump between the translator bandwidth 1 tech level 10 to the translator bandwidth 3 tech level 12 of 25,000 credits.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure it's got its own learning matrix and translation database. So, yeah, it's going to be considerably bigger.
Sorry, I'm done bugging about shopping. I'll just do it quietly.
No, you're fine. So I mean, essentially, this guy is, in addition to the 12,000 credits, in best case scenario, in addition to the 12,000 credits, this guy's basically uh, paying you an additional. How many zeros is that? I really wish they would use commas. 50,000 credits on top of the
Yeah.
12,000, because that's the price of the neural jack, not including surgery, which Lasani Chemicals will be happy to
Do for
provide
free
for free.
since they have surgeons everywhere.
Right, they're a pharmaceutical company. They can certainly install this, at zero cost. I mean, it'll cost somebody, but that's far below his pay grade. That's somebody else's problem.
If we get the neural jack, I'm going to ask him to provide a free weapon stug 2.
A weapons what?
A slug weapons 2.
So gun combat slug 2?
2
Yeah, okay.
for free from me. He pays for it.
Go ahead and make a persuade plus social check.
Too bad I don't have persuade.
Well, I mean, you're sitting next to a diplomat, so.
Do you want me to make a case for you?
Yes. Just in case.
Let's see what I'm looking at my book where these are at. I think my pages are a little bit different.
Yeah, this is in the 2023 update.
Yeah, I mean, if we do this, I'm also going to purchase expert packets for steward and explosives.
That's always good to have.
Don't know what you're gonna do with stewardship and explosives, but it sounds like an massive thing.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean,
I can deliver a plate of explosives.
An expert package for explosives might be restricted.
Well, this is an imperial world,
right?
It wouldn't be. I would get it any time in a sword world if they had it.
That's probably true. You'd probably,
of course, I need to have explosives.
And being ex-patrol, you would probably have access to it. Yeah, true.
Yeah, I would say that I also want to. What I don't know yet which ones I want, but I'm definitely gonna want some of those wafers too. I would say, we were sitting here just trying to have a drink and relax. You came up to us and threw this odd sounding mission, and you're making a lot of promises, and we're sticking our neck out pretty far. We've been on planet for a handful of minutes, so you're threatening, or not threatening, sorry, you're asking some high quality crew on a great ship to do this grandiose investigation for you, and we're going to need to be compensated pretty well for it. But with great compensation, you'll get a great result.
Go ahead and make a persuasion plus social check, and you can make that with a boon. Are you fucking for real? Wow.
I apparently have a seizure midway through my sentence. Yes,
yeah.
I rolled a.
So he tells you that that he would be willing to discuss those possibilities should you come back and the mission is successful. But another thing that you picked up, it now occurs to you what that dark underpinning was when you did the read surface thoughts, and the reason why he's approached you is that you are deniable assets.
And as a Jedi diplomat, I would have used assets like me for
Oh,
unspeakable things.
completely, or told others, agents, to do that. You know, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I just like basically like midway through my grandiose speech, I just start just like trailing off into like just in my head. So that's why I got a 5.
Yeah, you have a minor stroke and start smelling burning toast, and yeah, no, he tells you, he doesn't say no outright. He just says that's something that can be discussed should you return successfully.
Oh,
Okay.
it's that should you return part I don't like.
So, he gives
So
you
I have a question for the.
sure.
If we're going up on this thing, do we have an ability to go back and the ship and get some weapons and get my investigator's kit?
Oh yes, and so he basically sends you information on where to meet him. And as soon as you're ready, go back to your ship and gear up and then meet me at this address, and I will supply you with vac suits and an air raft to send you up to the Calendula.
When do we get the neural link?
He said, one thing at a time. You must succeed on the mission first and come back. Best the worst case scenario for you is that you'll make what did I say? Worst case scenario for you is that you'll make 1,500 credits and have the best steak dinner available on Iderati. Best case scenario for you is that you'll make 12,000 credits each, and you'll both get a free neural jack installed, plus negotiate for additional wafers.
You ready to go back to the ship, Svart?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are you guys gearing up with?
I'm gonna grab my laser pistol, and I am going to, because I'm assuming I can't carry my HEV suit. I'm gonna wear my HEV suit with its jetpack attachment.
Okay, so you're just putting. Or we're not sticking around. We're just when you guys get back to the ship, you can see that these Imperial Marines are being rude to the crew members. They are going into every service hatch, every nook and cranny of this ship, and they're just being complete a-holes about the entire situation. I mean, at least when you were on Go Hatcher, they were polite and professional. These guys are acting like you're already guilty of something, and they are basically leaving a mess wherever they go.
Yeah, I will. My laser pistol, my HEV suit, and my brand new shiny expensive ass fucking computer.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna assume that we both are horrible at electronic stuff. This computer, I can tell it, hey, do this, and it can do some stuff.
That's true.
What it sounds like.
That's true. That will give you some benefit to any electronics checks that might be needed. Svart, what are you grabbing?
Yeah, they're gonna let me take something out of the ship's arsenal, out of the armory.
Well, I mean, you could make your choice, either a stealth plus dex check or a deception plus intellect check.
Oh, would I have to do that for my laser pistol? I did specify I went to go put my weapons in there, so.
Well, I mean, if you're just throwing everything into a duffel bag, I don't think that there would be a problem with that.
As I walk out in HEVs. Definitely not suspicious.
Well, you know.
I throw in one of the ship's heavy revolvers.
Okay. One of the
My rifle. No, can I take my ACR?
Sure.
um,
Load up that duffel bag.
and my survival kit, my med kit, and my investigation kit.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely bring my med kit too. Now that he reminded me.
You're wearing like 4 backpacks. I'm ready to go. So, so you guys load up and you meet what's this guy's name? Dalgley at the appointed address, and he leads you into a small garage that is kind of attached to a rather important litigating building, and there's this huge signage on the side that says, it's Lasani Pharmaceuticals, blah blah blah. You know, all looks rather important and very corporate.
Limited liability company,
And this is
copyrighted.
this is the specs for the air raft. Very standard tech level 8 open air raft. It will reach orbital status. Not anything more than that. But the calendula is in a low orbit, and so this it shouldn't require anything more than this. And there is a keyed system built into the air raft that will allow you to operate and open the air raft bay doors of the calendula so that you can gain entry.
Mama.
So you're going to drive the convertible. No.
I'm glad I'm in my HEV suit. If you fuck up and we crash, I'll survive until I hit ground.
So yeah, so Svart, you have a vac suit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys suit up and you get into this air raft. Svart, you can make a flyer grav plus dex check.
Let's see. Grab plus check. 7.
Okay, so you start to climb, and it says it takes in the air raft. It takes about 3 hours for you to climb and get up into low orbit. I mean, this is an air raft. It's not a. It doesn't have the big thrusters of a starship. It takes you a while, and you get up into orbit, and you can you're on the right trajectory. You're coming in, and you can see this big this big round basically a jump capable space station, a little mini space station, and you can see that it's turning, and the central spoke where the pinnace is staying stable, but you don't see anything moving other than the rotation of the ship. Both of you can make a recon plus intellect check. Your choice, either recon plus intellect or education.
8.
Jersey got it. And Svart got it. You both see something different. As you're approaching, you can see that maybe floating, it's hard to tell distance in space, but maybe 60 meters from the lab ship, you see that there is a body floating in space. And it's not the kind of body that you would expect. This individual is not wearing a vac suit. They're wearing nothing but their trousers, and that's it. There's no boots, there's no shirt, gloves, nothing. They're just wearing pants, and that's it. And this guy is floating in space. Svart, you are kind of looking, and not only do you see the body, but you also notice that around the lab ship, you can see that there are various lights that are turned on. It's clear that the ship has tower. And in one of the windows, you see what looks like a human face looking pressed up against the glass, looking out, and then they run away from the window.
I pissed my pants.
I'm gonna help you. Like, look, we can clearly tell something's wrong. Let's go back. We've done our job.
Let's just get our steak and go home. Whoever wants to, I mean, if you
Yeah,
want,
they can. You know, there's probably nobody can use the radio. It may not exist anymore, but even if they could, I don't think that person that's out there in space is going to use it.
did you guys want to check out the body, or do you want to just move on into the ship?
Hey, I mean, my computer has like AI and stuff. Can it like run a medical scan if I like show it the body or something? I have no idea what all. I bought everything, so I have no idea.
That's a very good question. There you go, expert. Did you buy a medic expert package?
I just bought. It just said expert, and it was 10,000. Do I have to do it for each skill?
Yeah,
or?
for each skill is on top of that. So the software allows you to slot these. I mean, it's 200 credits for medic.
What is this in the core or the central supply?
It's in central supply.
I say the core rulebook doesn't say shit. It literally just says like.
Yeah, no, it's not, it's
having...
in central supply catalog. Hold on.
Not even the update. It's in the original.
No, this isn't central supply catalog update 2023.
Oh, okay.
I will.
I think I only have the
I
original.
misspoke.
It's okay. We'll worry about it after the session.
Well, here, I'll just plop this down.
I mean, I am technically trained in medic. I could take a look at it. Are you trained in medic, Smart?
Zero.
Yeah, I'm medic 0 also. Well, no, I would be 1 because of education.
So, would my investigator's kit do anything? I'm not so sure I could really do anything with it in space.
Not particularly. I mean, there's not really. I mean, obviously the guy's dead. So here are the expert skill packages. Medic is tech level 9. It's 200 credits. Basically a USB of Grey's Anatomy.
Can I just buy all of those?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll calculate. But we'll just say I bought them all.
You can't buy. Let's see. You can't buy explosives. And
okay.
Other than that, you can buy everything on here. And which expert software did you buy?
2.
Okay. So you can make, using that package, you can make a medic plus education check, and you get a +1 to it.
All right, 1 sec. Let me just updating my my monies.
No problem.
Well, so I am already medically trained at skill level 1, so I would do.
Right, but this gives you another +1.
Okay, so then just +1 to it.
I take a look at this body and I go, something's not right here. It looks like somebody went after him with a long blade.
Me and my computer are genius.
You know, I'm not here practicing my long blade on him, am I?
So you can tell that it was that the damage that you're seeing to the body was not caused by explosive decompression. The flesh on the back is lacerated, and it shows that these are wounds from crude weapons and not from decompression.
Can I see with a maxed out double sixes? Can I see like how long ago he's been in space, or how long ago these?
Probably not. I mean, you to know some. I mean, looking at him, you're probably guessing it's been maybe 5 days. But to really nail that down, you would need to do an autopsy.
Okay.
At least, yeah, at least some kind
Well,
of tissue sample.
Smart. I have a feeling we may die, but let's dock and let's do this.
Okay.
Wait, before we dock, do we want to like send a radio message to the Skander and say we're on a low Earth hidden laboratory that we're going to explore? We may not come back.
You could. Just
Yeah,
let,
fuck it.
How
I'll
about
use
let
to-
him know where
how
you're
about
going.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna send it on my computer as he's driving us up to dock.
Okay. So, so Svar, you hit the button on the garage door opener, and you can see that a bay opens up on one of these. So there are like the. Let me pull up the picture and I'll show you. There are these bumps on either side. There, one of the bays near one of them, you can see that there is a door or an airlock that opens up that is just about big enough for you to dock a air raft in. And there, and you can, as soon as you hit the button, you can see it open, and it's empty. So whatever craft was in here is now gone. You can make a flyer grav plus dex check. And you get a +2 to that. Oh, well, 12. No problem.
That gives me a 12.
Yeah. So,
yeah, a 12.
so
I like that.
part of this is that there is computer assisted docking when you hit that button, and so that was what the +2 was. And so you kind of pull in, and as you get in, the door slides closed beneath you, and you can hear the psh as the chamber starts to pressurize. So there's obviously atmosphere in here. And then you can see that hanging from the ceiling, there are a number of these bright yellow cargo straps with black buckles on them for securing the air raft. It should you want to secure it.
I'm gonna stay in my HEV suit.
I don't want it to escape without us, so I'm going to secure it.
Okay,
Securing it means if we need to get out of here quickly, it's gonna take longer.
that's true.
That's
And
okay.
the other thing, so the other thing to keep in mind is that if you remain in the HEV, if you keep your helmets and gloves on, that you're going to be at a -2 for pretty much everything that you would want to do in here, because those gloves are quite heavy.
Even with like using my computer to do like computery shit.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have a lot of fat fingers.
I have a feeling that for the horror to work, I need to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're still going to have the armor from the rest of it, but just you know, glove, fine, delicate work and being able to see, because the visor of an HEV suit or any vac suit is going to limit your peripheral vision. So you're going to be at like a -2 for recon checks. You're going to be a -2 for any fine motor skills, things like that.
All right, do we want to stay airtight, or do we want to open up? After finding a dead person floating outside with crude cut marks all in him.
Are we in a vacuum still?
No, the room pressurized, and there is an iris valve directly leading off of here. This door, this inner wall here is also a oh no, wait, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. So yeah, there's an iris valve that leads out into the main corridor on quadrant 1 of this ship. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that because these corridors the whole thing's a ring. It is a big donut. So if you are standing and you're looking down let's say that you're looking this direction from here down this hallway. Because of the curvature, you can only see eye to eye with somebody 9 meters. If you were to lay down on the floor, you would be able to see like 12 meters.
Oh,
Because it's a big curve. If you've seen, there's an excellent example of this. If you've ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, where towards the beginning of the movie, where the guy is jogging through the gravity ring, it shows what that kind of looks like because the whole thing is a big curve. The inside of a donut.
Am I able to use my computer to like, or is there like any kind of way to like scan the room and see if it's got breathable oxygen? Like, I know what pressurized it doesn't mean
your suit tells you that I mean, as soon as the airlock, as soon as the bottom door closes, and this docking chamber for the air raft cycles, your suit's reading that there's a breathable atmosphere.
as far as takes us
So next to this iris door here, there is it's a very simple key switch. Iris valve doors are always airtight. And the light is green. So if it was red, that would mean that it would be locked, and it only basically 3 things can lock it. You can lock it from either side if you wanted to. The bridge can do a master switch and lock it. Or if the computer detects that there is a loss of pressure on the opposite side of that door, it will automatically lock the iris valve. This light is green, so it's not locked in any of those 3 scenarios. All you gotta do is press the button and it will open.
I'll look at Smart. If he takes off his helmet and or his gloves, I'll do the same. But I'm letting him do
do we have any way of analyzing the air to see if it's got any? I don't want to say pollutants, but poisons or some kind of microbes. I don't believe in nanites, so I'm not going to say that.
If you guys had a bioscanner, that would tell you, or a chem sniffer, that you don't.
I'd take my gloves off.
Okay.
I stare at him.
You're waiting. Is he gonna explode? So you take your gloves off.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna have to cut my forearms off.
Yeah, you take your gloves off. You're fine. The area in here is dark, and the lighting fixtures have been in the ceiling. You both notice that the lighting in here is off, and this is because the fixtures, when you look up, the light fixtures have been shattered, just smashed out of the ceiling. Both of you can roll a recon plus intellect or education check, your choice.
I haven't declared I was taking my stuff off yet, so I'll do this at a -2.
Okay.
Recon plus.
As I'm looking around, I will start taking off my gloves, but
okay.
I got a 6.
I get a 9.
So, Svart, you notice that there's a bloody handprint stain on this wall back here. And it looks like it looks like somebody was pushed up against the wall with a bloody hand, and then they kind of slid down and smeared it.
Mama, let's go home.
What? Why? What do you? Oh.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Well,
that doesn't look good at all. This place does not look too healthy right now.
You're a sword welder. You're like, you have a sword, you have a gun, like, you know.
I have I have a pistol. I have a sword. I have a dagger. I have a ACR. I have
Well,
it
just so you
plus
know,
10. I have an improved vac suit with plus 10. I have an improved vac suit with plus 10 protection.
just so you know, and I pull out my laser gun. I'm like, you can't use this, by the way. It's digitally coded to just me. So
You got the digital secure lock.
oh yes.
All right.
So if somebody disarm me, they can't shoot me.
So this
I
is
think-
where we are going to break for this week. We will pick up next week with you deciding which direction you want to go from here. And like I said, the door is unlocked, and so we'll go further into exploring Death Station next week.
That's not a good
That was
name for a
fun.
laboratory station.
That's a terrible name for a lab ship. One of the
Did you
scientists
think-
is really into heavy metal. We'll call it Death Station.
Did you think I was going to end up buying an expensive ass computer?
I am surprised it took you this long. I mean, you've got the money for it, for sure.
Yeah, but we kept going to like tech level like 6 and 7 and
Yeah,
8 planets, and
That's
I
a
was like,
problem. That's the problem, is finding something like that. That's either you're going to pay like triple the cost because it's going to be an off-world import, or you're going to pay for something that's not quite what you want and it's suboptimal. So tech level 12s are pretty good. Pretty good tech level. Most of the planets you're going to run into are probably sitting pretty about between 10 and 12.
And I have an idea of how to get hacking software.
There
When
will
and
be
if.
numerous opportunities for illicit contraband type purchases in the future. Trust me. Drugs,
I'll say
computer software. I mean, shit, maybe even some augments.
right, but if we survive and make it back to the ship, the Imperial spy on our ship, I guarantee you he has hacking software, and he likes me a little bit at least.
That is all. Okay. I hadn't considered that either. So that's a possibility as well. Yes. All right. Well, we will pick this up next week at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night.
We'll be here until an alien kills us.
Until an alien kills you. All right, guys. You have a good night. I will see you next week.
Have a good night.
You too.